We hope that you'll join us for some future events and everything. So Jen has her hand up.
Well, firstly, thanks a million for putting on such a great event and creating such, I suppose, a new hub of kind of women and support. It's exactly what myself and my business partner are looking for.
Tough month, or 20 months even. It's been a great month. It's been a tough 20 months, and we're all hopefully coming out of a prolonged period which has challenged and changed many of us, which in itself, I suppose, may not be a bad thing. It wasn't hard, though, to see that COVID was going to have a greater negative impact on women, which is now being recognised and referred to globally as a Shecession. But as we all know, crisis and change always brings opportunity. And for those of you who are new to us this evening, we set up AwakenHub during lockdown 1, which seems like a lifetime ago, but that was only July 2020. We're 4 friends. We've been looking to do something for a couple of years, but didn't know exactly what that would look like, to leverage our networks and to give something back. And we were being approached by women individually through our own networks who were spinning. You know, their heads were spinning with regards to what was happening to their businesses. And then we realized this is what we've been looking for, and we didn't realize it ourselves. And AwakenHub was born. We're registered as a social enterprise because we want to give something back. And our mission is to democratize the landscape for generations of women founders to come. So we're an island of Ireland community. We describe ourselves as a community rather than a network because we're here to support each other and level each other up. And we want to do our bit to help women find their feet and claim their space at the table in this brave new world. So we've been working for the last 6 months to design a meaningful and light touch pilot to help women who've been impacted or inspired during COVID-19 to take the plunge with regards to their founder journey. And thanks to the amazing support of Rethink Ireland's Social Enterprise Development Fund and Ulster Bank Northern Ireland, both of whom I believe are here. I saw John Ferris there somewhere, and I believe Rethink Ireland are here as well. We're now in a position to engage with a cohort of 35 women from across the island of Ireland. So what is SheGenerate? It's aimed at very early stage, nascent, or want to be, in other words, women founders embarking on their journey. This is the first program of its kind, bringing together women founders on the island of Ireland, north and south, into what we are calling an accelerator light. So if you get involved, you'll be history makers by de facto being part of the program. SheGenerate will run for about 6 months, from late October to maybe the end of April, the start of May 2022. It will involve about 6 2.5-hour workshops staggered to 3 or 4 week intervals. We have those workshops pretty much kind of mapped out, but then we kind of stopped ourselves because we said, hang on a second, we don't know who the cohort are going to be yet. So we're not going to finalize the nature and who's going to deliver those workshops specifically until we've agreed on the cohort, so that we can tailor it as best as we can to the women who are coming into the group. We will be keeping one, though, as a lucky dip workshop, which the cohort will be able to design themselves based on what they identify as they progress through the program as our final workshop. So in addition, the cohort will have free access to our monthly community events, which are normally a £10 entry fee, and they will also be given access to our private community. So we have an invitation-only private group, which we use the Slack platform to keep that group together, which we only started rolling this out in late spring, early summer this year, and have been slowly adding small cohorts of women founders as we get to know them every kind of 6 or 8 weeks. So this is one of our, what we call our secret sauce, I suppose, in AwakenHub. It's a sacred space for early stage women founders to support each other, with the addition of what we call our big sisters, which is a group of company builders, innovators, investors, and founders with a bit of road behind them. And they'll be there to offer informal advice and guidance on a kind of day-to-day basis. People drop in, ask questions about co-founder agreements or about onboarding people, or investor questions, or really practical questions, quite technical questions. There's a real big mixture of them. So there's normally a nominal annual fee to be part of this group, which would be waived for the duration of the pilot for the participants. The next element will be an additional role with some of our big sisters who will be doing big sister sessions, and the participants will be put into smaller groups of 5 to 7 people to meet once a month from January to April to allow you to talk through any issues or bugs you're kind of experiencing and mapping out your plan and your next steps. To complete the program, we'll help you with signposting for your next steps, and of course we'll welcome you all with open arms to stay involved with and be part of AwakenHub as your journey progresses. We're really conscious that a lot of the women that are involved in our community to date, and I'm sure some of the new people who are joining us tonight, when looking at their founder journey, it's a side hustle. You might be holding down a full-time job. You've got a bunch of other responsibilities that you're trying to deal with. So we're conscious of your time constraints and commitments, and we've deliberately kept this to what we think is a minimum but impactful program, which will take you to the next level. We'd absolutely love to see a complete mix of women from all backgrounds, sectors, arts, tech, science, retail, everything. It doesn't really matter. We're sector agnostic, in other words. Every county on the island of Ireland, if we could get 1 woman from every county, and 2 from Cork, obviously, because there'd have to be 1 extra Cork person. And I suppose we're open to people who are both very commercially driven, but also would really welcome some potential social enterprise early stage founders as well to join us as a social enterprise ourselves. So expressions of interest are open. They're on our website. We've kept the application form super easy. It's open to women who haven't taken the first step yet, and those who've started in the last 12 months or so, but are still super early in their development. Ideally, you'll have some idea as to what you want your business to look like or be, but those with a keen desire to try and figure that out are more than welcome to apply. We're certain that there will be some people who might feel that they're not there yet, or they're just not good enough, or they don't have the confidence to go it alone, and we would really encourage you all the more to submit and see what happens, because you could be exactly what it is we're looking for. Applications are open until 5 o'clock on Friday, the 8th of October, which is Friday week. You need to be living on the island of Ireland or an Irish person living abroad looking to relocate back in terms of building your business. Our hope is to secure additional funding to have a second and further intakes, which is why we kind of refer to it as a pilot for now. But a lot of that depends on the demand and I suppose you guys shouting loud enough about what it means to you. So I think that's just kind of a quick run through of everything. I thought it was more important that we give the floor over to you to ask any questions that you might have. So I think without further ado, we'll just ask people if they have any questions to maybe raise their hands, and Mary Carty is going to help me identify people because there's a lot of people on the screen, and or put questions in the chat. Catherine Muldoon.
Hi, Hi everybody. I've been to that many events where the first person to speak often gets more recognised. So I'm gonna step up and take that role right now.
Well done.
I apologise if there's any noise in the background, because as I'm sure quite a few people involved in SheGenerate will have children in the background. It's very excited after a long day at school. But I suppose the question that I wanted to ask, my position coming into this is that I have previously been involved in startups, and I am now working for a community interest company who are really interested in taking a new step away from where they currently are. So what are your feelings around almost like second businesses rolling off from a main business for this program?
I mean, from my point of view, I wouldn't let that stop you from applying. You know, what we're looking for are tenacious, committed, bright women who've got a hunger for something, and they want to try and find a way to map that out and figure that out and see what their next steps would be. So for the sake of 10 minutes that it takes to apply, Catherine, if you haven't done so already.
Oh, it's already in.
Oh, well done. Yeah. You know, and I mean, I suppose there's an exercise of discovery in this as well for us, because it might be that we'll identify people who might not exactly be a fit for this, but that's not to say that we can't look to doing something else at a later stage. So it also allows us to kind of map out the landscape a little bit as well. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for setting this up, because this is so exciting to be involved with, even watching along. So thank you so much for all the work that you have been doing over the last year.
Super. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Vandita, hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you keeping?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for organizing this event. I was actually really looking forward to know you people and the amazing journey that you have put ahead of empowering women in the industry.
Thank you.
So just to give a little background about myself, I am a digital marketer by profession, and I run currently 2 businesses in the Isles of Ireland. That is one, Proventus Digital, and D8 Indian. So Proventus Digital is a digital marketing agency where I help small SMEs, for example, barbers, bakeries, restaurants, to come online, especially after the COVID pandemic. So I just go on to them and help their whole booking system turn online, so that people can come and book their services from them and order their food online with the whole e-commerce system. And the other thing is D8 Indian, as myself is from Indian origin, and when I came over here, I realized the gaps in society, because Ireland is still developing, and being an Indian origin, there are a lot of people in the society who are not able to connect properly. So it's the first dating site ever for Indians in Ireland who is boosting ahead. So before COVID, we were actually organizing events from different clubs. So we were organizing Bollywood nights and single mingle parties for people, and we were just mingling the whole platform in technology. And today I am here to help and support and see how can we together go forward in the situation, so that we all can flourish, because we are in the mission together to do something. As you mentioned, if you have a hunger to do it, so everyone is there to help you. And we are here for a just cause, to help others and in return help ourselves to do something better.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Vandita. I appreciate it. You don't have a question as such. You just pitched to the entire community there for the last 2 minutes instead. So I guess we should give you a bit of kudos for that, but it's not a pitch event for everybody else. So, well, Vandita, welcome, and it's lovely to have you with us, and we hope that you'll join us for some future events and everything. So Jen has her hand up.
Well, firstly, thanks a million for putting on such a great event and creating such, I suppose, a new hub of kind of women and support. It's exactly what myself and my business partner are looking for. And I guess we are a service-led business from an e-commerce and marketing consultancy base. And just wondering, do you have any preference around a product-led business versus a service-led?
No. That's the simple answer. We're completely agnostic. So, I mean, our objective in terms of our overall objective in AwakenHub as a community is to just level up and equate women founders' scalable businesses across the island of Ireland. SheGenerate is one element of that. We'd love to see a really big mix of people from different backgrounds, different sectors, ages, counties, everything. So, yeah, absolutely not.
Okay, well, our application's in, so fingers crossed.
Well done. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else got any questions? You're all very quiet. Either I'm brilliant or I'm rubbish. So somebody either needs to ask me a question and so I can figure out which one I am. Claire Ryan.
Hi, sorry, I won't turn my camera on because if I do, then my whole thing crashes.
No problem.
I was wondering how you guys are with co-founders, just because I have a male co-founder, but I know that working with other women would be super beneficial, and then also learning more on the lines of how do you communicate with a male co-founder so that your voice is still equally heard within that business. And I wonder if that's something that you're also taking into consideration with applications.
Well, I mean, nobody's asked us the question specifically. I mean, I know that there's 1 or 2 applications in from co-founders who've put in like 2 applications. The program, if I'm answering you correctly, we have no issue if you're a part of a co-founding team and one's a man and one's a woman, but we would be, if you were successful, our relationship, for the want of a better word, would be specifically with you. If it was 2 women in a co-founding team who wanted to apply, I think we'd look at that carefully to see how we could accommodate that without precluding another potential beneficiary from another business. So I suppose, anything is kind of possible. But I think it will bring, you probably won't be, I'd imagine you might not be the only person who'll certainly be in a co-founder situation. And what you will find is, I mentioned we have this private Slack group, which has been running now for the last 4 or 5 months, and we would already have people in there who are in co-founder situations, some of them with their husbands, some of them with their friends. So by virtue of, if you get onto the program, you have access to that wider cohort of women who are already in our Slack group. So even if you don't get directly what you want out of the SheGenerate bit, you might find that you'll get it from that wider community within our private Slack group. So I hope that answers your question.
Katrina would love to ask a question there.
Yep. Sorry, just one second there. Claire, is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, Katrina.
Katrina here, how are you? Thank you so much for this. This is very new to me. I'm a primary school teacher, so this really is a leap of faith. So
well, we love teachers, so that has to be a good start, right? Where would the world be without primary school teachers? So
listen. So I just wanted to ask, basically, I'm looking into product design of some learning resources to be utilised within classrooms and in homes, and where would there be any restrictions regarding participation in other initiatives? For example, maybe the Innovate Us program or something?
No, there wouldn't be. I mean, I suppose the only potential concern would be your capacity. If you're already a full-time teacher and you're doing this as a side hustle, and then you're looking to be on maybe 2 programs at the same time, it's a question as to where you rate on the Superwoman scale. You know what I mean? If you rate yourself at a 7 or 8 or a 9 out of 10, then I'd say go for it. But I suppose what we want is people whose eyes are on the prize with us for that period of time now.
Yeah.
Like, we're deliberately, it's, you know, there'll be a workshop, as I said, once every 3 to 4 weeks. We'll be kind of going over Christmas, so that'll vary slightly, kind of taking that period into account. There'll be the big sister sessions in the new year, which will probably be an hour-long sessions once a month by 4. And then other than that, there'll be your work that you have to do. So if you can combine that if you can piggyback one onto the other in terms of doing the same work that you need to do anyway to get you to the next steps, then, you know, but it wouldn't be, I don't think it would preclude you, but I think we wouldn't want somebody to come in and then figure out, I've taken on too much and now I'm going to drop out.
Be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Well, 100%. Yeah.
So I think you'd have to make a call on your level of commitment and
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I mean, so what we'll be doing is, I think, we have something like 70 or something applications in, and 10, 11, 12 days to go. So we reckon we'll probably get close to 100 or something applications. So we'll have to whittle them down anyway and have a conversation with a close to kind of final cohort. So we can tease out these kind of questions with people at that stage then as well. Do you know what I mean?
Super.
So we'll have an opportunity to get to know people a little bit better and kind of make those judgment calls between us and you as to whether this is the right fit for you.
Perfect. So, and all help gratefully received. So thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well done.
Claire McMullen.
Claire, and I think I have 2 minutes left then, and we'll be going into our breakout room. So Claire and Louise, you've got 1 minute each, and I think that'll be it for our questions. Claire, do you want to work away?
Hi, I was just wondering, where should a business be to apply? Because I'm just about to have my MVP to test. I was just wondering, would the program help me to test the market and further develop the application and making?
Sorry, I'm struggling to hear you there, Claire. Would you mind repeating yourself? Apologies.
Sorry, I'm in a health mobile application, and I am at the stage of I having my minimum viable product source, and I was wondering, what stage does the business have to be to apply?
Mary McKenna, do you want to come in on that one?
Claire, did you say what stage does the business have to be to apply?
Yeah, if she has a minimal, if she's at minimum viable product.
How long have you been trading?
I haven't traded yet.
You haven't? Well, then you can apply. It's for women that haven't yet started, or women that are maybe in the first year or so of trading. So anybody that's early stage can apply. We've got, just to answer some of the other questions that were in the chat there, we have 15 spaces on this first cohort for women in Northern Ireland, and we have 20 spaces for women in the Republic. So put your applications in. We'll be going through them later this month, and we'll be back to everybody as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so Louise, super speedy. Hey, how are you? You're still on mute there, Louise. You might just unmute your microphone, please.
Okay, sorry about that. I just popped it in the chat there as well. Thanks, Sinead. So I'm just actually cheekily going, because I can't preview the second page of the expression of interest. I'm wondering what kind of information is on the second page. I just want to prep well for it, so I can't preview it.
Oh, I can't tell you, no, because I can't remember offhand what's on the first page and what's on the second page. So I guess you're just going to have to follow it through. But sorry, I just in my head can't remember what the breakout is between them, unless anybody else knows offhand. But I mean, the types of questions are simple. Where are you based? What stage are you at? Have you raised any money? What are the challenges that you're facing? I mean, it's a very simple application form. So if that helps you answer your thing, there's no trick questions in there. It's just really for us to gauge give us a baseline as to where you're at. So
yeah, I guess I'm thinking more about the open text kind of questions, of which they're, in the first page, it's just the descriptor of what your business is about.
I mean, like if you can do that in 4 or 5 lines, then I think you'd be away.
Yeah, I get that. Thanks, Mil. Okay. If anybody else knows the answers because you've already done it, you can pop it in the chat. Thanks.
Yeah.
We've deliberately kept this very simple and easy and not buzzwordy, so it's nothing to be worried about at all. Just as simply as you can, state where you're at in your business or what you'd like to achieve. So don't overthink it. Just get the application in.
So that kind of flew by, lads. But this is what happens every month on AwakenHub. The hour just kind of starts running away from us. If you have any questions, you can email us at hello@awakenhub. But as Mary just said, don't overthink it. Just submit it, and you can always come back to us if you want to refine your application or anything like that. We are going to go into our breakout rooms now.